Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 23rd SF Doc Fest. We're so excited to have some filmmakers joining us for our virtual shorts programs. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We're so excited to get to feature your films. To kick things off, I'd love to just have you introduce yourself, let us know what film you're here with, and tell us how you stumbled upon this journey of telling this story, and let us know the genesis of the project. And Andy, we'll kick it off with you.
All right. Hi, I'm Andy Camus. I am one of the directors of the Untranslatable Forest Project with Ivan. And really, the main reason why I wanted to tackle a project like this was to bring to light the beauty of language and interesting ways to tell a story through as many unique words as possible to different languages, and highlighting just how important it is to conserve languages in our world, some of which are potentially endangered. So that was my approach.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Ivan, how did you, well, give us your intro and tell us how you kind of found your way into this story as well.
Well, same, co-director with Andy. I am doing a little bit more the role of producer, but it's a story that we have built between both of us. And mostly our approach was that we were talking of collaborating in a project, and something we were both passionate about was language, and how unique languages are, and how, apart from communication, gives a unique perspective about the world. And Andy found an approach to talk about it related to nature that was really interesting, and digging about it, we discovered much more interesting things that we could be talking about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Yasmin.
Hi. Hi, great to be here. I'm the director producer of Kim Jong, Alpha Man, and the Pro, A Lemon's Race. And that's a student film I got to work on while doing my master's at USC. I was the director producer and had a great time working on it because I love cars. The movie's all about a car race that's pretty unusual. And I was really attracted to telling that story because it's kind of a different look at the idea of sportsmanship. It really emphasizes the value of collaboration. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And is it Ankita? Am I saying that correctly, I hope?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your film.
Hi, I'm Ankita, and my film is Far From Home. I actually wanted to work on this film because of my family background. My grandparents were refugees to India, and this started as a class project at Northwestern, where I worked on African refugees in Chicago. And my professor encouraged me to take it a level ahead and look at the wider Afghan community in my country. And I decided to look at Afghans because they have a long-standing relationship and history with India. And apart from that, it is also very interesting to see the situation of refugees given the current state and political climate of the country. So thank you so much for watching the film. And yeah, that's pretty much the background for why I did this project.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Andy and Ivan, I would love to kick it back over to you and just really dig in, right? You're telling kind of an abstract story. And I would love to hear, like, how did you conceptualize such a big idea and were able to kind of congeal it down into your work of art? And honestly, I'll just let you both jump in and you can decide how you want to talk about that journey.
I could start, and then Ivan, maybe you can fill in some pieces. So when we were talking about a collaborative piece between the both of us, we both kind of like this idea of centering it around language in different languages. And when thinking about a way to tell a story or form some sort of a story, we thought, okay, what's the fewest amount of words that we can use to tell a story and kind of leave the story that we're telling up to the viewer. as far as what the story is being told. It's kind of multi-layered in that way. And the way we decided to come up with that was through words that do not have an immediate direct translation in other languages. So words from all different languages that are pretty unique to that language. And through these kind of definitions of the terms, we can kind of progress an abstract story through the words we chose, their definitions, and then the order that we put them in. And then from there, so we had that as a framework to have the language be the core. And then from there, we built upon it with the visuals by linking it to nature beautifying this airport, which is generally considered something that would not be beautiful, is like an airport. And so if we take nature, which is kind of the opposite of this urban airport, and have it start to beautify it through it as a way to kind of like create these abstract scenes for these words. And so that was how we linked them in a kind of multi-layered way to tell this story on a many different levels. So Ivan, you have anything you want to add to that?
Adding to that, what Andy has been saying, as we were investigating about it, we land with the text that we display at the very end, that is part of the big core of the short. That is about the disappearing of most of these languages. And we thought that having this abstract part was helping and talking about these other languages too, even though they are not necessarily the languages that they are in danger to be disappearing, to engage with any language and feel, wow, if a language can express this, and languages that we know, what other languages that we don't know they could be talking about, and how many ways to view the world we are missing. I think that also that connection with nature was really interesting to exploring, having in consideration that initially just looks like a way to connect with the thing that or the nature is in danger, or planet is in danger in several ways. But even if it's for denying it, I think that everyone knows that. Well, at least for me and other people, it was kind of a new that so many languages were endangered. And the connection, because there exist several articles talking about the connection that exists between languages and nature.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. Yasmin, I would love to hear from you about how did you kind of hone in on the teams that you ended up following? Like, what was that process? Because I think we really see so much heart about the competition, like through their journey. So can you talk about like how you found them and how you decided to approach the telling the story through like their unique lenses?
Absolutely. So I guess it was a bit of a difficult process because there were so many other teams I would have loved to have included as well with great stories. And the way I worked with those three teams in particular is I went to a few races and was just talking to folks and got to know these guys, and they were really excited about being a part of it. And they kind of represented some different angles to the story. One of the teams has participated in 30 races, so they were very familiar with the history of the race. Two other guys had been doing it more recently, the guys from the Probe. And then the Kim Jong Elantra kind of was a look at a team that is made up of sometimes 15 to 20 people working on the car. And all three teams allowed us to look at kind of their wild creativity, which was great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Ankita, your film is so personal and resonant in the times that we're living in right now. And what I really think is special is that your ability to kind of use Samira's story as a lens to see like the larger picture of what I think we're experiencing globally, but definitely in this country, in terms of like rising hate, and this feeling of like really being stuck between places that aren't welcoming to you. Can you talk a little bit more about how you and Samira came together and how you came to, you know, really hone in on this story and tell it from this particular lens?
Yeah, we actually captured the essence of the film quite beautifully, and that was actually our aim, to showcase the condition of these people who are on the margins of society. Nobody thinks about them, especially the government, and given the political climate in India, not even the people. And for us, actually, it was we chanced upon Samira by chance. It was not intentional. We actually went into this film with another subject, and that subject at the last minute decided to not shoot with us because she had two daughters and she was scared that her ex-husband would come after her along with the Taliban. So she refused to shoot with us at the last minute. And then at that time, we were like completely lost. We didn't know what to do. We were standing there in that Afghan settlement with our cameras, knowing we didn't know where to go next. And we discovered a handicraft center, and that's where we found Samira and her family. And we just thought Samira was a very interesting character because she's someone who internalizes a lot of the pain. And I think when we shoot with a lot of subjects, a lot of films, a lot of filmmakers in films in general showcase characters who are extroverted or do express their emotions. So it was really harder for us to capture that on camera, capture her pain and like whatever she's going through the internal. But it also showcases how a lot of the refugees are like they don't express, they can't cry out loud, they're just a state of constant despair. And that's the situation they are in because they're stuck, right? They don't know where they can go, what their future is. They're in limbo. And I think that's something we wanted to capture in the film. And Samira's character, Samira's family, they captured that essence very beautifully. And so that despair of her not being able to envision a future for her children was extremely painful. And we are glad that we could get that and get that message across to viewers.
Lovely. Thank you so much. I mean, times have always been difficult. It feels a bit extra much right now. So I think this story is really important, and thank you so much for bringing it to light. And thank you so much to all of our filmmakers for joining us. It's all the time that we have for our Q&A today. So excited to share your films with our DocFest audiences and to see what's coming next from you all. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.